So I can't believe I actually have to make this video. But I guess I do. I don't know. This is insane that nobody has picked up on this. Considering the people I follow and pay close attention to, right? Should I say their names? What should I say? I don't know. Like Polarity, Vetted, Backyard Professor, Casper Site, right? Consider Michael Shermer even. Holy shit, Michael Shermer. Oh my god, dude. So, okay. Let me bring some logical analysis into the scene here. There is no possible way that that could have been a parachute, and let me explain why. Here's our model, okay? Top, bottom. I put red duct tape on the bottom so you can see the difference. All right, notice how it moves, okay? Have you ever seen a parachute move where the load was like right here and the strings were all wobbling off to the side? Or something like that, right? Have you ever seen a parachute where the strings were not straight and the load was not pulling down on the parachute? I want you to notice something. The load, if you were looking at it straight on like this, right? The parachute is straight here, right? You're looking at it sidelong, right? Now, if the load flips up towards the camera, now the parachute is a square, okay? The more it straightens out, the less square it becomes and the more of a line it becomes. In real life, it would be like an arch, right? Same for this way, okay? So when you see a full-on square, it means whatever the load is must be pulling towards you or away from you, one or the other. There's no possible way you could see a square and the load be over here. It's like, oh, I don't know what's the term, physically impossible. That's not how parachutes work. So let's review some of the video, and I've got about 19 particular places where I would like to draw your attention to so we can kind of take a look at this together. Okay? All right, let me resize my stuff over here so we can take a look at the full screen. All right, let's go ahead and start it from the beginning. Okay, now the first thing I want you to notice is that when the video starts, the 8 star is pretty far off. I also want you to notice whatever this is, a contrail, some sort of a vapor trail or something along those lines. Okay, notice this and how close it is to the star at this point. All right, so we're keeping in mind the size, right? How big it is, how far away it is, and the fact that we have this contrail going underneath it. All right, let's keep going. So we're now going to go to 11 seconds. Okay, quick reminder, the contrail has now disappeared. Just so everybody is aware, we had that flash and the contrail has disappeared. Also, some people, it seems, are a little confused as to how thermal imaging works. There are 2 different modes when it's black and white. You've got hot black and hot white. It can go either way, and it depends on what the atmosphere is, like what the scene is, okay, in which you're using it. If the background is cool, hot black is usually a better option because you can make the background white and pop up the hot black stuff. Okay, if it's during the day and the sky is a little bit warmer, hot white is usually the way to go, especially if there's cloud cover. Okay, moving on. All right, now this is where the actual 8 stars own trail begins. Did you notice that it did not exist until just now? let's go back to exactly where that starts. See? It starts right there. It was not making a trail before. So I don't know what exactly that indicates, but it is a point to consider in analyzing this. The next one I'd like to get to is at 47 seconds. So we can watch it scribble around for a second here. Nothing super interesting. You've all seen the video. Also, just as an aside, I didn't mean to do that. Just as an aside here, well, we'll get to this in a second. Okay, it comes back into view. Now, in order for there to be an eight-pointed star with a sort of circle, I guess, encasing it, this is why a lot of people think this may be a lens artifact, because there's no dimension. It doesn't tilt, it doesn't go sideways. You don't see a three-dimensional object rotating at any point. On top of that, it seems to maintain a very consistent size at whatever resolution the camera operator has tuned or has adjusted their camera to. So there are no known three-dimensional objects which, no matter how you look at it, maintains this appearance, right? That's impossible. You can't have that. You can't have something that you can turn any which way and it will look like that. So either this thing is faced head on directly at the camera the entire time without any variations, or it's a lens artifact or a camera artifact. Or something else. I'm not sure, but let's get to the good stuff where we bring in the parachute. Okay. Oh, 47. All right, now this is the first shoot appearance. All right. Think about what is happening here, please. Okay, it appears up in the screen. You can see the corner of the chute. Now, if this thing is connected to a parachute, how are we getting a corner of a chute this far away from the load? How is that even possible? To further back my argument here, let's see. We're going to 51, where it kind of comes up and, well, that's a bit harder to see. I guess you have to you can kind of see the corner, right? But look, this is the corner of the chute. That's the underside, okay? So this is underside. This is a corner where the string is attached, or where the cord is attached. How could that possibly be attached to this if it's being pulled this way? How is that even possible? Okay, next stop, 57 seconds. Oh, I thought I had some. Did I miss it? Hold on a second. What was that 57 that we're looking at here? Oh, right. Okay, yes, there is not supposed to be anything here. So at 57 seconds, where is the parachute? Like, did the string just suddenly grow? Like hundreds of yards or whatever, right? 40, 50 meters? Like this completely went off the screen. Where's the parachute? How can you even explain the parachute getting anywhere else? It's on that side. It stays on that side for the majority of the footage, except for one part I'll show you later. But where's the parachute? If it's got a parachute connected to it, where is it right now? Okay? All right, now we're going to go to 101, where you can see this, right? You have a very clear parachute outline comes into view. There it is. All right. Now, remember what I said, okay? For you to get a sidelong arch like that, okay, it needs to be in a formation very close to this. Maybe just a couple of different, angles would fit that because it is a little wobbly there. But for the most part, you need something straight on like that, okay? So now, watch this. Oh, it goes square. Suddenly the parachute's square, and it's a good, twice as far away from it as it was when it was an arch. Explain to me how you go from an arch to a square, and suddenly the load is twice as far away from it as when it was an arch. See where it is in comparison to the chute, right? Load, chute. You go square, it should be closer. It should appear closer. So why is it further away? Can anybody explain why that is? I can't if you're to continue to maintain that the chute is attached to the load. This is not the case. There is no possible way that could happen. It's impossible. I'm really frustrated that I even have to make this video, and I'm probably even a little bit more frustrated that nobody's probably ever even going to see this. But here we go. Okay, so 1 minute, 2 seconds, right? You get the same square sort of behavior, right? 1 minute, 5 seconds. You get yet another full-on side chute, right? There it is. And it's closer again. When the side chute, the arch, should be the furthest away from the load. So why is it that every time it's an arch, it's closer to the load, and every time it's a square, it's further away from the load? That is completely impossible. Let's continue. Again, we're going to get another flat look here. There it goes. It goes flat, and it's further away from the load. Huh. How the fuck does that happen? And why has nobody picked up on this? It's a parachute. It's a fucking flare hanging by a parachute. Duh. Really? Do you want to explain to me how the fuck it's doing that? Without some magic or some Alright, so now we skipped forward to 109. You can see, let me line this up with this as well. You can see that this is much further than it was in the previous images. See, with the, up here, you've got the various parachute and bogey together with various orientations that absolutely don't make sense at all, right? But now we're going to go down to the 109, okay, where it's further down in the screen. Lower, more to the right. Where's the parachute? If we've got an arched parachute right here, that close, which means we should be looking at it like this, and the more that turns, the further it gets away, and then we get down here to the corner of the screen where there's absolutely no parachute to be seen anywhere, whatever. What's going on here? Okay, now we're going to move to 120. I'll go ahead and just get a little closer to that. Okay. Okay, the parachute re-emerges. it seems to be doing exactly the opposite of what a normal parachute should be doing. The closer it gets, the more square it becomes. The further away it gets from its chute, the more arched the chute becomes. It's complete nonsense. They are coordinated. There is some correlation happening here. I couldn't tell you what it is, but for a fact, they are not connected. This is not if they are, it is absolutely not a typical parachute setup. But I'm like, 99.9% certain they are not connected. There is something else going on here. Okay? It is physically impossible for what we are watching happen, and I again cannot believe that nobody has picked up on this yet. Okay, so 124. Again, it gets closer and flattens out. What is that? What's going on here? So yes, there is correlation here. There is some sort of like coordinated dance going on between these two objects, but they are not physically connected in this fashion. Okay? It is not a parachute connected to a bogey or to its load. Okay, 127. Might as well just finish this up, right? So 127, we get it. Right, it's a little bit further in the air. Again, it's closer and it's in its arch shape, which means we should be looking at it head on, right? Completely impossible. And again, it goes square at 129. There we go. Just go square again. How does that make any sense? Then 139, it gets close again. Let's see where are we. Gets close again, and it's an arch again. So you can see that they are, as I said before, there is some sort of coordinated dance going on between these two objects, but they are absolutely not physically connected in your typical parachute setup. And it is very, very unlikely they are connected at all in any manner. Then lastly, let's see. Now the short line parachute, okay, not the arch, but like this way, all right? We'll see it this way for a second. And right before our bogey lights up with white hot something and shoots off the screen, right? Okay, did you see that? Did you see the little short line, the side? Huh? Did you see that? It flattened out, but it was short. It wasn't the long one. It was in the arch. And then it shoots off screen. Lit up. Completely lit up, right? And now we have, now after it shoots off the screen, now the parachute reappears down here. Explain to me, somebody please, how these two are connected in any way whatsoever. Anybody who says this is a flare connected to a parachute has not taken the time to really look at this. I really, really appreciate many of the people who have analyzed this, but it is beyond me. It is beyond me how so many highly intelligent people completely missed this point. Here we go. Whoop, we missed it. Let's okay, it shoots off the screen at 144. At 144, the parachute disappears. This is going to shoot off the screen, and we're going to see the parachute flicker around down here just for a split second. Watch closely. 144, 38, 39, 40, 1, 42. Okay, we've got our side long, right? Dips out. Watch down here. Oh, maybe I didn't. Hold on a second. I apologize. Oh, no, no, no. My apologies. This happens before it burns. So, watch. Did you see it? Did you see it? Flicker right by here. Right before it burns. Okay, watch. Huh? Did you see that shadow? It happens almost at the same time. The bogey takes off this way and the parachute goes this way. Watch very closely. This corner. It goes from here to here, here to here. Ready? Here we go, flare up. Did you see it? Like a little, almost like a thin little trash bag looking thing, right? It's so fast. It's hard to catch it in frame. There's the corner of it as it's gonna whip out a frame. So there it goes. It's gone. See, here we go right here. There it is right there. And it whips out a frame. Complete nonsense. Absolute complete nonsense that this is anything dangling from a parachute. I'm done.